Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode. Today I'm with a player from the Red Lions. He played for Royal Leopold in Belgium. Nico, you were saying obviously how important is the balance, of a player in their life, obviously because otherwise it's all the time hockey, 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 hockey.
So yeah, but it's just a new way of living, and nothing to say that when you find a good balance and that you enjoy everything you do, then you're playing better.
If you need to give any advice for those kids who are starting playing hockey, are taking a bit more serious the sport, or maybe they have the dream to represent their country, what you would say to them?
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east.
Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode. Today I'm with a player from the Red Lions. He played for Royal Leopold in Belgium, and now he's playing in the Indian League for Sorma Hockey Club. Welcome to Nicolas Poncelet. So first of all, thank you for your time. How are you going?
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. Going super well. Really happy with the Hockey Indian League, and even more the weather that is here. So I don't have to be in Belgium with the 0 degrees, rain and wind. So really happy to be here, and so good so far.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm really jealous, obviously, because you are there really in a hot weather. When here we are with 0 degrees, raining all day, no sunny days.
Yeah. No, it's I can't complain. Everything is really good. And last time I went to India was a couple of years ago, and wasn't my best experience. Was in Lucknow, and
Yeah.
now here in Rourkela, everything is way better. Good food, good weather, good hotel. So nothing bad to say about this trip, and really enjoying until now.
Perfect. Nico, I would like to know a bit of your career. So, from how do you start playing hockey?
So I started playing at 5, but or 5.5. So all my friends started at 4, or really early in the 5. And my parents or brothers were not playing hockey, so it was not in the family. And then I had to start a team sport because I was a really bad loser. So every time I was losing, I was crying and stuff. So my parents put me in hockey just to try, and I pretty like it, and I never quit it. So it's how it started, and
Yeah.
yeah, not really in the
And
family.
in which club did you start playing?
So I started playing at Leopold
Okay.
because all my friends from school were playing there. And since there, I left 1 or 2 times, but I always came back there. So I played from my 5 years old to my maybe 18, something like this, a bit more, maybe 20. And then I left to play 1 year at Dragons. I wanted a new challenge, and I wanted to start a national team as well. And so it was really nice for me to develop. And then after 1 year, the team changed pretty much. So I wasn't feeling to stay there because it was a lot of driving and stuff. And the team really worst it the year I came. And then was so much change and many new players that I didn't know, that I decided to come back to Leopold. And what was really nice is that we won the league with Dragons that year. And when I came back to Leopold, we won the league with Leopold. So it was super nice.
Yeah.
And then I played 2 more years at Leopold. Then I left to Amsterdam for 2 years. We had a really good first year, and then second one was a bit complicated. Some struggle with the coach that quit it at the half of the season. So the second part was really not easy, let's say. And after 2 years, I came back again to Leopold,
Yes.
where I'm still playing now. And yeah, that's a little bit it.
Nice, nice. And how is that different between the Netherlands and Belgium? Because obviously we are really close, but do you see that there is a lot different between the leagues or no?
I will say that you have some things that are different. I think that in Belgium, tactically, it's a bit further than in Holland, if I can say. A lot of tactical analysis, playing zonal for a long time already, and really base the tactic on the opponent you play. In Holland, or in my own experience in Amsterdam, uh, was lot more of man-to-man, even if now the Netherlands they start to play a zonal as well. We had way less analysis on the opponent, and it was more on ourselves. And it was, let's say, less far into the tactics and details of the zone and stuff. So that was a massive difference. But then on the other side, in Holland was way more, let's say, professional, and the physical part was, let's say, more present. So even let's say, the less good player of the team were physically really strong. Where in Belgium you can, for example, still have, let's say, average players, or players that are not ready yet physically to be at the honor division. They are still involved in the group and so on. In Holland, this doesn't exist, so you only have really fit players playing. So yeah, in general, I think the level of the leagues are pretty similar. Even if, for example, at the EHL, you always see the Dutch teams shining a little bit more than the Belgian teams. But I think we're getting there, and it's every year a bit closer.
Yeah, yes. And are you a more zonal player, or you like the man-to-man?
No,
What's
I'm
your
really a
favorite?
zonal player.
Yeah,
I think at some moment, man-to-man really has good things, but in general, I really think that playing zonal can really help everyone, and that if you can play a really good zone, I think it's more effective on the whole game than playing man-to-man. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm
It's,
always
it's, it's
following
quite different. It's quite different to Argentina, because obviously I'm from Argentina, and in Argentina we like the man-to-man. We like to be really aggressive, and then you look into Belgium, and it's everything more zonal, more calm, more into the tactic. And
yeah.
I don't know, the Argentina we go more for that attitude than go forward and be aggressive all the time.
Yeah, I mean, everything like adds good points. So it's not that zonal is the best thing to do or not, or that man to man is the best thing to do. I'm used to play zonal and I like it, but it's
Yeah,
true that, for example, when we play against a man to man, we sometimes struggle because we are not used to it.
yeah.
So I think you need to be able to do both of them. But I would prefer to play zonal more than I'm playing man to man.
Man, yeah, yeah, yes. And now in India, are they also playing more zonal, or is depending on that tactic
Yeah,
moments? What are you saying now?
that's a really good question because in the Indian league, you have to think that it's really a lot of culture, different culture playing together. Let's say, for example, in my team, we are three from Belgium, we are two from Argentina, one from England, one from Australia, and I think, and then players from India, of course. And so it's so many different way to play that you have to bring them together, and one from the Netherlands. That you need to find a way that everyone is comfortable and can understand. So our coach is from Belgium, and we started at the really beginning to play zonal and try to explain it to everyone, but it's really difficult to get everyone on the same page. So we
Yeah,
quickly changed to a man-to-man, and we are now playing almost all the time man-to-man. And it's easier to understand. Of
yeah,
course, it's not just following your man. You have more aspects even when you play man-to-man. But it's easier to coach, and let's say the starting point of the tactic, it's easier to understand for everyone. So now we are playing almost all the time in man-to-man, and it worked pretty okay, let's say.
yes. And more when you don't have like a longer pre-season before the tournament for practice all the zonal or the tactics. Sometimes it's better to go with something more easier than is something incoming for everyone, because also you are trying new things during the tournaments already is going on. Yes, because you didn't have like a long pre-season.
Yeah, exactly. So when we started, we at the start it was only me and Victor Wenier that arrived, and we started playing zone, and it was let's say it was a good start, but then people arrived a bit later, and everyone was coming a bit when he could, because it was still a long period. You had Christmas and stuff, so everyone arriving at different moment. And the thing you have to think as well, it's only, let's say, 10 matches, and then you play semi-final, final if you qualified. You can't really spend 3 or 4 games finding the right tactic and stuff. If not, you already lose too much points. So after 1 or 2 games, we directly changed to man-to-man because we had to find something where we could perform pretty quick. And so we turned it on, and we earned some important points. We won some important points at the start of the tournament, and now we are, I think, fourth in the league or third, with 1 game more. So after tonight, we will see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't spend too much time finding the right moment because the competition is pretty short, and as you said, the preparation as well is really short.
Exactly. And how did the opportunity to go to India arrive to you? Because yes, I have been talking with some players with Jimena's address also, and she's there now, and everything. How the opportunity arrived, and is this one is your second time there in the Indian League, or is it the first time?
No, it's my first time, and it's a bit random because I received a message on Instagram by an Indian guy, I don't remember who, that I didn't know from the past. And he just sent me, the Indian League is back. Here's the link to register if you want. Would be lovely to see you. And I was okay. So I just had a look to check. And then we started discussing it with the friends of the national team. And it was real link, everything. So really nice from him to just tell
Yeah.
me. And so it was during, at that moment, I was in Canada playing the Canada Cup this summer. Was really funny.
Oh yeah.
And then I just registered like this and was thinking it could be a nice experience and stuff. So registered, and at that moment at Leopold, I was playing midfield. So I registered as a midfielder, but a bit later on, I was playing at the back again. And so I got picked during the auction as a midfielder, and I'm actually more playing as a defender.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's how it happened. And yeah, really happy that I've been picked.
Yeah. Yes, and in the position you are saying now about your position on the field, you are more like a player who can play everywhere, no? Like you can play in defense, midfields, and you can also play attacker, or you always prefer between midfield and midfield, or
Yeah, I have to be honest. I'm not a big goal scorer, so I wouldn't put me as a striker. But I have the chance that when I was younger, I really played different position. I was playing free man before that. I started early playing striker, but then I changed in the midfield and at the back. Then I played free defender, and now let's say that my best position would be a right back or right midfielder. But I sometimes play as a mid or sometimes a little bit in the center at the back as well. But I would say that my strong position is on the right side as a midfielder or as a defender.
yeah, yes, it's always really good for every player to have at least two different positions where you can play. Yeah, as a coach, I always talk to my players and I say, hey, you need to learn to play in another position because this is in the future can be a good option for you if you go into a club who have a really strong player in your place. Maybe you can try in another place and maybe you already know something about that place.
Yeah, I think it's first for yourself. It's a really good added value. Like to be picked in a team or to be able to play more minutes or to be like more flexible, let's say, as you said. It's always good to be able to play a different position. And as well for yourself as a player, you develop as well a different aspect of the game. So playing as a defender, you always play with the game in front of you. Let's say in this point of view, it's easier. On the other side, when you defense and that you have a lot of duels in your own circle, you have to be really careful because it can be straight away corner, penalty stroke stuff. And then when you play as a midfielder, you have all the game in your back, so it's a different way of playing. You have to press scan, let's say, way more. Turning forward and receiving balls are really different. And for example, tackling and having duels, it's not that it's less important, but doing a fault or something, it's like less risky than in your own circle. So it's really different, and both of them are really interesting. So if you can change a bit of position, you learn different way of playing, and you become, let's say, more complete as a hockey player.
Exactly. And in the Indian League, uh, I imagine there is a lot different between the tournaments that you has been playing at the moment, because obviously the Indian League came back from being outside of the radar for many years, and it's like a big show, no? Because I has been watching it on the app some of the games, and it's a really big show. Eh?
Yeah, yeah. So I think during 7 years it didn't happen or something like
Yeah,
this. And so now it was the first year they were back, and yeah, they had a nice opening ceremony. And let's say Indians, they like the show, and they like to do, when they do things, they like to do it well. So everything it's really well organized, and you have the lights that are crazy. The stadium in Rourkela, it's really big. So everything it's really well done. Music side as well, it's really really cool. So it's really a nice atmosphere. The stadium is not always full, as it's a really really big stadium, but everything is really well organized, and yeah, the changing room, the recovery staff, everything is really professional. And I was quite surprised because yeah, I didn't come to India for a long time, and everything is super well organized.
and it's everything in the same field, in the same stadium, no?
So basically, the men's, we are based in Rourkela, where the major part of the tournament is happening. And then you have the girls that are playing in Ranchi. That's let's say 5-6 hours drive away from here. And the men, we all went to Ranchi to play one game, and the girls came to Rourkela to play one or two games as well. So it's two different city based for the tournament, but we all traveled a little bit to play some games and to change. So yeah.
And how is the treatment of the receivement from the players from abroad? Because I've been seeing some pictures, the receivement in the airport, the treatment the Indian people have with all the foreign players. I think is really good, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Indians are really, really welcoming, and so it was super nice when we arrived. We had a small ceremony at the hotel with the dance, music, and stuff, and as well all the let's say the team member of of our team can be like the manager or even the guys helping. We have the luck in our team to have Sardar and Arjun, that are two legends of India, that were really welcoming and doing everything for us to help. We have Akash as well, that is our manager, and like arranging everything. So if we need, I don't know, I can stay stupid stuff, but to go to the hairdresser because we need a sunscreen, anything, we can ask him, and they are really, really doing a great job. And so yeah, it feels really really
Nice,
nice. We
nice.
don't have to care about anything. Everything it's organized. Can be about the recovery as well. So it's really really nice.
That's really good. That's really good. And the celebration of the goals, is that something you train also, or?
Yeah, it's something all the team trained. With Soma, we have one a bit more basic, let's say, and we have a celebration that is, let's say, it's about the city where the club is from, and so it's a small symbol for them, the what we are doing, but it's less as a team. It's more just a sign that we are doing. The other team is something you train, a celebration team. That is always pretty nice for the show as well. And then you have
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the fireworks as well at the same moment. So it's always really nice, and on TV should be nice to watch.
No, no, no. In TV, it look pretty good. Eh? That's why I was asking that, like, if it's something you all train, because obviously every team have different celebrations, and it looks celebration that it's not something that you talk before the game or in the moment. It's something that it look like something it has been happening before in the trainings
Yeah,
or
yeah, it's
something.
something
So
we discussed before, and then it's the same one for the whole tournament.
yeah, nice.
Yeah,
That, that's
well
really nice.
prepared.
And yeah, yeah. And how is your relationship with the Indian food?
Um, I have to say again that based on my first experience in Lucknow, I had a really bad memory. For 3 weeks, I was really struggling, and everything was super spicy. And at that moment, back in the years, I was really struggling with the spicy. I skipped the details.
Yeah,
And so now really surprised because everything it's let's say more moderate regarding spicy, and they have a lot more different stuff. So you can have chicken or fish every meal, then with rice, pasta, and then you have all the classic vegetables and all the classic Indian preparation. So you can find whatever you want. They have really good soup as well. So as well with the fruit, yogurt, everything. They have Nutella. I don't like too
Oh,
much, but people that like chocolate and stuff, they have everything you need. So honestly, you can eat almost as in Europe. I say almost because it's a lot of chicken rice, but you can really find something really good for every meal. So now I'm,
so
let's say, really happy with the Indian food again.
okay, yes, and so they are more prepared for this type of tournament. Let's say, like they has been preparing more the different menus for the people who came from other countries and maybe they can't eat like
Yeah,
Indian food.
exactly. And as well, they already had some tournaments here, so they know what to do. And I think the city is playing a lot. Lucknow, it's let's say not the best city in India. So it was, yeah, really. They were not used to organize tournament and stuff, and it was really for the Indians. Now they are a bit more prepared as well to welcome people from all around the world. And so yeah, nothing bad to say again with all the food we
Yeah,
have.
yeah. Also because I play in the past in a club in England. Then it was from an Indian club. Then it's based in England. And when you say no spicy, it's still really spicy for us.
Yeah, yeah, it's
The no
crazy the
spicy.
difference. We had the same because when we were asking for pasta or noodles before the game, we said no spicy, and then it was still a little bit spicy. So we really had to specify no spicy at all to get normal pasta. But yeah, always a little
Yeah,
surprise ready for you.
exactly, exactly. Nico, and how the opportunity to play for Belgium for represent your country has arrived to you in which moment of your career and how everything has
So
yes
it's
appeared.
something I wasn't thinking too much about. At the start, it wasn't a dream to play for national team or anything. And when I arrived in the U21, I played a little bit before the U16, then U18, but I got dropped and then back in the team and stuff. And then I was playing in U21s, and I started to at that moment to get better and to have an important role in the U21 squad, where I played the Junior World Cup in India. Um, and then I had a chat with the coach, and that's funny because that's the coach I have now with Surma.
Oh,
So
okay.
Jeroen Bart at that moment was the coach of the U21, and said me that the coach of the Red Lions was coming to come, and that I had big chances to join the squad after the tournament, but that I had to play well and so on. And then after this tournament was December 2017, I think, or 2016. 2016. Yeah, I think so. And then in January, I joined after that my first camp. I got called to do a first camp, and that's how it started. And then I realized that fuck, I'm playing in the best team, the best level I could do. So it was an amazing feeling, and I like really only realized when I was called that yeah, it was massive what I was doing, and that I was
Yeah.
really happy with that. And then my first, let's say, years, I was physically not ready to. It's really a big gap between U21 and Red Lions, and now it's all the time, every year, getting a bit more professional, even with the young players or with the youth team, and so the gap, it's let's say easier to make. At that moment, 8 or 9 years ago, I wasn't ready for this rhythm and stuff, so I was injured pretty early. Uh, Honestly didn't play the level I needed to play, so didn't play the tournament at the start of this, and then I got pretty, I have to say, unlucky with injuries. Um, what was I saying? So, yeah, then got unlucky with the injuries, and so I broke twice my hand. I broke once my finger when I needed a surgery. Then I broke twice my arm, where I needed two surgery as well. I got a pubalgia as well, and so it's was like big injuries all the time. Not so much muscle injuries that I could do something different, but a lot of hits, ball, sticks, and then every time you have to be out for a couple of months, and then surgery again to take, because I had I don't know if you can see, but I had
Yes.
screws
Oh,
all the way
yes.
here. Yeah, and so it was really shit. And so every time I was playing really well and wanted to pretend for a selection or something, I was cut and off the field again. So I really struggled to play, let's say, 1 year free of injury.
Yeah,
So it was pretty difficult.
yeah,
But
well,
that's how it is, and everyone has different journey and
yes,
career,
exactly.
and that's a big resume of mine. It's many injuries. Yeah, and then recently, last year, it was done for me with the national team. So they prepared the Paris Olympics with a small group. So at that moment, Sébastien Doquier, Manu Stokbrooks, and myself got out of the team. And then the plan was that I would maybe join the team back after the Olympics. Um, but no, many players stopped and they started to involve into really young players that have many years in front of them. And so at that stage until now, I didn't join back the team. And I know 1 year ago, a bit more, started working as well. So now I really have a different life where I basically work every day, and beside that, train with my club. Now playing the Indian League, I sometimes play the Pro League, for example, or some friendly game with them still. But yeah, let's say that the future of my career is not 100% clear. We will see what's happening in the future. But right now, I have a really nice balance where I can enjoy work and something else than hockey, because for 7 years I was only doing hockey, national team, club, etc. And it's really different when you discover something new, that you meet people that are not from hockey, that with wood you can discuss something different than hockey as well. It's really nice. And then I started playing a bit of indoor as well, that I didn't play for many years. Played the World Cup as well. That was really nice. And now playing the Indian League. So doing a lot of different things, really involved in hockey still until today,
Yeah.
but just with the unclear future of the international team.
Nico, you were saying obviously how important is the balance, of a player in their life, obviously because otherwise it's all the time hockey, 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 and there is other things to do also. How important for you was to understand that balance?
Yeah, it's a tricky question, because when you play national team and that you hockey is your life, you really don't have a lot of time for other stuff. So basically, you train every day during the day, then you come back, you are tired, you have to rest, and then it's almost night already. You sleep, and then you go back again, and then you have the weekend, then you have the club, the games with your club. So it's a pretty full program, and when you have a little bit of holidays, you want to disconnect, and it's always really good to go a couple of days resting somewhere else, that in your own country. But it's, let's say, always the same. So it's a bit of break, then you play hockey again, then you have tournament, then break, and then you play hockey again. And so it's really hard to find the time to do something else. Couple of guys of the team try to start working, for example, for different companies, but they all stop pretty quickly, because it's really hard to manage all of them, and it gives you a little bit the feeling to do both of them, work and hockey, at 50% instead of doing one of the two at 100%.
Yeah, yeah,
So when I got out of the team and that I started to work, for me it was something really really new. Um, and I was pretty excited about it, because it was something I never did working before. Then, because I started playing national team at 20 or something like this, and then never stopped until this day. So it was really new and really exciting. And now it's a totally different life, because during the day I'm not training but working, and then I don't have the tournaments anymore, so I can, let's say, plan to do other stuff. As well, my girlfriend that is living in Spain, when I was playing national team, was super hard to see her. So to plan holidays and stuff was really difficult. Now I have a little bit more flexibility, so as well it was really nice, and you can invest more time as well for your friends, for your family. The number of weddings I've missed in those 7 years was incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not that it's totally different because I still play a lot of hockey, and with my club when we have EHL or when we have game during the year, I can't miss them. But it's just a new way of living, and nothing to say that when you find a good balance and that you enjoy everything you do, then you're playing better. That's really directly linked and really important to find the right balance and enjoy what you do.
Exactly. And obviously now you were saying how many things you miss in this career of trying to play with the national team and give your best and everything. You have missed a lot of things in your life, and there is where we say, okay. And I think a lot of people want to know uh, what uh, what you need to pay to be an elite athlete. Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you think about the hockey player from the national team, everyone first see the really nice thing about it to represent your country, and they are really nice thing. So that's why we do it. You represent your country. You play in front of many people. You are really close with your teammates, and to fight together for your country, it's something incredible. It gives you like feelings that you can't really reproduce somewhere else. So this is really really nice. But on the other side, they don't always see all the trainings we do, all the sacrifices we have to do as well. When I was talking about weddings, or in my situation, for example, I come back with that with my girlfriend living in Spain. It wasn't always easy. So, for example, a couple of years ago, we decided to break up because she was going back to Spain to play the Olympics, and she made it. So it was incredible. But we were not together for 4 years, living our dream of playing and representing our country. So it's a lot of sacrifices, and yeah, it's thing you have to do when you want to do something like this to play the national team. It's really the best level of hockey you can find. You need always to do something extra than the others to be able to make it. And so it's more training, more time, more invest into recovery, into preparation all the time. So yeah, during the holidays where everyone is going, let's say during the summer going on holidays, or the winter, everyone going to the sun. Here it's more preparation, running, and pre-season.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, you don't really count the time. You have to invest. It's until you're good enough to play the national team, but it's a lot of time.
Yes, that's always why we see a lot of people with a lot of talent fail in the process. No, I think it's because also it's difficult to find that moments where you need to say no to a lot of things to be able to have more time to train and dedicate it to be able to find that objective to play for a country. No, because obviously otherwise everyone will play for your country. So it's if so the best one need to play there, and for play there you need to leave aside a lot of things that are really nice. Yes, because obviously it's not nice to miss a wedding or miss holidays with your friends, or miss holidays with your family, or in your case, no, you broke up with your girlfriend in that moment. But it's difficult to accept it in the moment. No, I think it's a lot of people maybe, let's say, fail the process because of that. No.
No, exactly. It's really a good resume of the situation. It's not made for everyone. And I come back with the pleasure and the fun. You have people that don't enjoy to do so much sacrifices, that don't enjoy to do preseason, to do the running and the gym beside the hockey to be fit enough to play. And so, yeah, you have many players with a lot of talents, but are, let's say, too lazy, or that don't enjoy this ride to arrive there. And when you don't enjoy, or it's too much for you, it's really difficult to follow this program. And I mean, I totally understand it. And beside even the wedding, it's when you are still young and that you start to play the national team, that's always a moment where all your friends go to parties, to birthdays and stuff, and you have so many times have to say no to a Saturday because you have a game on the Sunday, or when you have a party on the Sunday to say no because you have training on the Monday. So it's all year long. So you have, let's say, a couple of holidays during the summer and a couple of holidays during the winter, but the rest of the year you are you're an athlete the whole year, so it's really during the whole year that you have to do some sacrifices. And yeah, the people that are not ready or don't enjoy to do them to arrive where they want, it's really difficult for them to follow this program, or at one moment they give up. And it's not made for everyone, I have to say.
Exactly. Nico, you're one of those players who also play for Belgium in indoor.
Yeah.
So how is that different between the outdoor and the indoor? For example, I don't know, in Argentina, the indoor is really secondary at the moment, even for the national team. How is your experience here in Belgium with the indoor?
So it has been the same in the past. So the indoor season was really like a secondary compared to outdoor hockey, and it's still the case now. Outdoor hockey it's more important, but every year they are closing the gap a little bit, and every year it's a bit more professional. I have to say that the Belgium league it's still not an amazing level, and that it's not really professional. But the national team of indoor, it's getting every year a bit more professional, and it's nice to see. And because I was playing the national team outdoor for many years, I didn't have the time to play the indoor. And so when I didn't play the national team anymore, I started to play the indoor, and straight away played a World Cup. And I have to say that I was quite surprised that it was pretty professional already. Could be because of the priming doing before the game, the recovery program. The people working for this team can be physical trainer, the coaches, everything. So they are every year investing a little bit more, and it's paying, because you can see that Belgium in indoor hockey are doing better result every year. Once a bronze medal at the Euro that we played 2 years ago. And we did fourth or fifth at the World Cup. So it's better than before, and I pretty enjoyed it, I have to say. It's different, of course, but it's nothing to compare. A different sport, playing with only 5-6 players on the field. It's indoor, so you have more noise from the public and stuff. So it's totally different. But I pretty like it, and I would play it again if I have the opportunity.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm really happy with the indoor seasonal RIP here in Belgium. Because of the weather, I can be inside, no cold. So it's really nice. For those who don't know really well about the indoor, what do you think the indoor could improve in an outdoor player? No, because we always say, like, I don't know, the indoor can be good for an outdoor player because of this, and this. For you, what's the indoor give you than the outdoor now?
Because you cannot leave the ball in indoor, the defensive part of it's really demanding, because you have to cover as much space as possible. So you always defend with your left hand on the ground. So let's say that on the physical aspect, it's really hard for your glutes to always, even for taller people, it's really hard to always defend with the left hand on the ground and to stay mobile with this. So I think on a defensive way, it really helps to improve. And as well as, let's say, your technical level, it's you can't miss trap or anything, because every time the ball is lifting and going in the air, it's a fault. So it's really demanding as well regarding that. So I would say that for your technique and for your defense, it's always an added point. But on the other hand, it's different stick, different ball, different surface. So it's not the same, Every time you play outdoor and you go to indoor or on the other side, you really have to adapt to your stick, the ball, the ground you're playing. So it gives you some different aspects and can help in some way. But I think in general, it's more that you have to get adapted to it before joining one or the other.
Exactly. And for those who never play indoor, would you recommend them to try indoor, to start playing it because it will be good for them, or you are more the type of person who will say no, choice or outdoor or indoor? Oh.
No, it's still, let's say, the same principle to play with a team, with a stick and a ball, and you have to score. So if you like playing outdoor hockey, I definitely recommend to at least try. It's not made for everyone. You have players that really don't like it. Me, I really find pleasure playing indoor. It's like a new way of playing, different tactics, different stuff. And so I really like to invest time on doing, let's say, same principle, but with other rules, other tactics. I really find it really funny. So I would definitely recommend to try it.
And also it's funny that you can see how much difference the indoor and the outdoor when you see that a really good player in outdoor then is going into the indoor and it's not the best one. Or,
I don't
or,
know.
or in the other way also, because I have the case and our players who are not the best one in outdoor, but you see them in indoor and are the best one, and them in the other way also.
Yeah, it's crazy. You have many players that are incredible outside, and then when they play indoor, they are terrible. It really happens often, but mainly because they never played it. I have to say that I think that the players that are really technical, when they go to indoor, they are good as well. The players that have a bit less technique, they really struggle in indoor. But yeah, you have really good players of indoor that can't play outdoor, or let's say not good, and on the other side as well. And it's always funny to watch.
Exactly. Nico, in your career, have you had that moment where you spend more time on the bench than playing on the field?
Yeah, I had this, and even more with the national team, with the club. I always played a lot. But with the national team, as I was telling you, with the injuries and stuff, I never like had a really important spot or confidence of the coach. So I often had, let's say, a lot of time on the bench first, and playing, let's say, a second role in the team. And it's not easy. Of course, when you
Yes.
don't have good time on the field, and that you feel you don't have always the confidence of the coach, and that you don't have a, let's say, a massive or impact role in the team, it's not easy to perform at your best and to play how you would like to play. So yeah,
And
definitely a
how,
challenge.
and how does affect mentally for you in your case? How this that affect a lot, or you always has been the type of person who, when the moments are really hard, you keep pushing, keep training to try to demonstrate it, or you have that moments where obviously it's accepted, and you have that moments where you maybe say, okay, I need my time, or how was for you?
Um, I always accept it, so I always played with that, and that's the rule. And even more with Belgium, that is one of the best team in the world. When you want to have a spot in the team, you know that you have to play with the best, and that it's not easy to get a place there. So when it wasn't my turn and that I had to play less minutes, to spend more minutes on the bench and stuff like that, I always accept it. But it's true that it's pretty different than when you play with the club. So with the club, I always had a big role, big minutes on the field, and everyone trusting me to do the difference and to play well. With the national team, it's different, and all the best players of the clubs are there, and so of course you directly take a bit less importance. Um, and yeah, that's how it is. I never, let's say, gave up. Always try my best to do it. But it's true that I was playing better with the club as I had more time on the field, more confidence, and I was like enjoying it more. With the national team, never gave up, but was struggling a little bit more to play my best hockey. And yeah,
Exactly, and it's yes, as you say, it's easy when that happen when you're in the national team because you know that it's only the best 18 people there or 20 or 16 people there, and it's obviously there is a lot of chances that you can spend more time on the bench. But when it's in the club, it's more difficult to understand why you spend too much time on the bench, or because obviously we said on the club sometimes it's more uh, for play with your friends, for everything, and then you spend a lot of time on the bench. It's a lot more difficult to understand.
yeah, sure. And then you have different type of people. You have people that can't really recognize when they are less good, or that they need to spend more time on the bench. When you can't realize that, when you can't realize it, and that you're, let's say, blind on the situation, it can be really frustrating, and you can really react bad on it. And then you have people that, or let's say, more objective, and that can realize that and see what's happening. and then they accept it when they have to spend more time on the bench, and they will work harder, get better to try to win more minutes on the field. So I mean, it's really depending on your personality and how you see the situation. And as well, you have, as you said, you have players that are just happy to play with their friend, to train every week, and if they play a bit less, it's fine for them. Where you as well have players that just want to play a lot of minutes, even if they don't deserve it. So really depending on the type of people, type of teams, and as well the mentality you have.
Exactly, exactly. And on that, I would like to know how much important for you is the mental health in an athlete.
Yeah, I already said it twice, and I will say it a third time because I think it's really important. You will always play better when you enjoy what you do, when you feel comfortable, when you feel that you have the confidence of your teammates, but from the coach as well. You always play better. The moment I played the worst in my career was the year before quitting the national team. I knew I had absolutely no confidence from the coach. I had really small minutes on the field. Wasn't I had not a really great relation with him, and yeah, I wasn't enjoying it at all. And it's crazy to think about it, but I was representing my country playing with the national team, but I wasn't enjoying anymore, and I had no confidence. So I was playing, yeah, really shit. I have to
Yeah,
be honest. And that's the moment I felt it was I needed a break and stuff, and it arrived without that I was asking for it. And then I was playing with the club again, playing here with the Hockey Indian League and stuff. And now I really, like, let's say that the first part of the season I did know, I enjoyed it so much to play with my friend with a lot of confidence from the coach and a really important role in the team. I'm really happy with the level I'm playing now, the first part of the season. And yeah, I think it's really directly linked with mentally how I feel and yeah, being happy and confident on the field.
yes. And with this, I can see like how important is the role from the coach here now, because obviously get that confidence from the coach. Obviously, the confidence can be giving you more minutes or just with the relationship you have outside the field or during the trainings. And it's really important that role from the coach.
Yeah, 100%. It's really, it's being a coach. It's just not being good at coaching hockey or giving training. It's really a complete job where you need to get a good relation with your players. And as I was saying, if your players are feeling confident or they understand the role, and even if they don't play a lot, that you have a good relation for them, and that they can understand and they can you can share with them what you think and stuff, and that they feel good, they will always play better. That if you have a bad relation with them and that they are frustrated or they feel the lack of confidence. So it's really, really, really important. And for example, with Shane McLeod, even if I wasn't playing much, because it was early in my career, I was feeling better on the field because I had, let's say, a better relation with him. So yeah, I think it's a massive, important point for a coach.
Yes, yes. And in your case, how you um, try to survive to to those moments? Do you go into the family, into friends, girlfriend, or there is obviously I think it's more open to talk about the sports psychology than I think a few years ago. No one wanted to say, "Oh, I go into the sports psychology," or maybe people didn't uh, go there. But now I think it's more open people to assist you as sports psychology because obviously it's really important. In your case, which one was in the way you manage it?
Um, so I feel lucky that I have a lot of nice and close friends that are as well playing with me at Leopold. So on that side, when I wasn't happy or wasn't feeling confident with the national team, I was always happy and feeling confident to go to Leopold to play there. When I was to Amsterdam, it was a bit the same. I had a important role, and again, I had some injuries, but I was really feeling really good with all the teammates and stuff. So playing with the club always, let's say, saved me regarding that, and I always played confidence all the year long. and I had some moment where I was struggling with the national team, but never with the club. So that was really important for me, as well as the girlfriend and the family. Um, Always have really good contact, and even when I broke up with my girlfriend, we always kept contact. Um, so I mean, all the people around me, I feel really lucky that they were there all the time, and I could first think about something else and talk about something else, and when needed, I could speak about it as well. So really feel lucky the people I have around me, and they always help me when I was feeling a bit bad with national team.
Exactly, exactly. It's weird because I mean, a couple of years ago, every time a player was quitting in a tournament for represent their country or quitting in to be part of the team, people from outside who doesn't know the story always say, "Oh, like why? They have the chance to represent their country and they are quitting, and we don't know what's happened in the behind of the player." And I think now is everything is more open. Like a lot more athletes are going out, explain why. We see, I think, the last case from a Holland player, and she decided season and need a time to recovery and everything. And now she's back in the Indian League again.
Yeah.
Then it's a lot more open. I think it's more people is more communicating what their feelings and then we are humans and we need our times and sometimes when we don't feel to be in one place we just need a time to recovery and then we can come back with more stronger or no. And it's not only the part of oh, you're quitting to the national team. You shouldn't do that. No. I think it's more. We need to be more human and understand what's going on. No?
Yeah. But people don't always have all the information. And yeah, for example, when I wasn't playing a lot with national team, a lot of people were telling me, "Oh, but what the fuck? The coach don't see it. You should play more and stuff." And can't say they were wrong or good or right, but they don't have all the information. They don't see you at training. They don't know what the coach wants. They don't look at the big picture where everyone needs to perform and where the team needs to perform before the individual. So yeah, now it's everything. It's more public and people are explaining their feelings even more. But as you said, you always have to remember that we are humans before anything, and that there is more than just being good at playing hockey. It's a team sport. It's a mental health, as you said. So you always have to watch the big picture and not just the decision or the small point that is there.
Also, because it doesn't depend everything on you. You can be
Okay.
really good. You can be performance really good, but maybe you're not what the coach is looking for. Yes,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
maybe in the picture of the coach, in the tactic from the coach, he prefer one another player than you, and maybe you are giving your 100%, you are in your best moment, and you still not the first decision from the coach because you don't enter in that decision from him, and that's so it's not like everything depends on you.
You have that, and as well you have the different generation. So I know, for example, people that made the Olympics. That is a big achievement, but that are not great hockey player, but because of a situation with an injury or because of a, let's say, less good generation, they could make the team. So it's really a lot of factors that need to be together to make that. So yeah, not everything on you, even if you of course have a big part of responsibility on that. As well as I was saying, the injuries that you can't really control as well are a big part of it. So yeah, a lot of different points. If it happened like this, it's because it has to be like this, and you can't always turn everything on your favor. So just need to accept the things how they are, to find the good points that are in it, and then find your way anytime.
Exactly. And Nico, for you, when you start to have your moments in the national team and everything, have you have any dream with the national team? Like, say, I don't know, I wanted to play World Cup, I want to play Olympic, something, and then for everything, all the those things we has been talking, you couldn't go or something.
Um, to be honest, it wasn't so much. Of course, the Olympics, it stays something that all athletes wants to do. But I was saying when I started national team, it wasn't so much like I wasn't realizing from the start, and it wasn't a dream for sure to play the national team and tournaments and stuff. And then when I got into the team, um, the thing that I wanted the most was to play a tournament, whatever which one it was, but more for the fact to fight with my team and with my friends to get a result for official tournament. That's really the thing I wanted to do. And now it's different, of course. But for example, playing the Indian League, I found it really, really nice because you have a mix of culture and then you're fighting with friends from different countries to get that result. And I really like this aspect. And with the national team, I played, for example, the Pro League. But it's not that if you win the Pro League, it's not the craziest thing in the world. It's more a tournament that people use to prepare let's say, the real tournament. And so, yeah, it's something I would have loved to do, to play like a World Cup, for example, or Olympics, even more for the experience and as well for the mix of culture, everyone there, all the sport there. But yeah, it was like this, but it's for sure something that I will miss. And yeah.
And if you need to choose one tournament and you say, I would like to go to this one, will be the World Cup or will be the Olympic?
Olympics for sure.
Yeah, I'm also an Olympic person, more because of the fact to live around all those sport people from different sport and all that environments that you're living there. No?
Yeah. It would be crazy, and even to meet your idol from other sport, and it should be an amazing experience.
And will you be the type of person who will be taking pictures or just looking from away? I don't know, Rafa Nadal or Djokovic, if you see them around, will you be the person who will be quickly picture?
With Rafa and Nadal for sure, and then with the NBA players, I really love NBA. So, and like they're really impressive. So I would for sure don't hesitate to ask for pictures.
Perfect. Nico, last question, and then obviously I will leave you because I know it's getting later in India. If you need to give any advice for those kids who are starting playing hockey, are taking a bit more serious the sport, or maybe they have the dream to represent their country, what you will say to them?
I would say to it's maybe sounds a bit easy, but to really give you all the chances for you. So there are stuff you cannot control. That could be, again, bad injuries, selection of a coach that doesn't like you or anything. But I would say to give you all the chances by doing the things right, doing the sacrifices you need to do at the start. And if you have done everything you could and that you didn't make it, then you have nothing to regret, But you never know when it will be the end. You never know what will be happening in life. So you have to give you all the chances you can to make it. And then if you don't succeed, it's fine. It can happen to anyone, but just to give you all the chances you can, and then then you won't have any regret and you will enjoy it for sure.
Okay, good. That's a good advice. I really share that with you. Nico, thank you very much for being here. Now that you are in India, I hope you could make the final there with your team. There is a lot potential in the team, really, really good players. And I'm 100% sure that you could make the playoffs there and see if you could make the final. I think the environment in the final in the Indian League could be incredible around that big stadiums and how the Indian people is with the shows and everything. I think could make the final could be incredible, and not even talk about win it. I think it could be incredible. But yeah, thank you very much for your time and share your experience.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a real pleasure, and let's see if we can make into the last four. Would be amazing.